Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Saints Game Day. I'm your host for today, Matthias, also known as Moth Eyes, and I'm joined by Patrick Smoke Chambers. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great today, Matthias. The weather was so beautiful today as well. I was talking about last time. I know a little off topic, but it was nice yesterday. I was on the desk with Theo, and now same thing. So hopefully everything just kind of keeps trending towards that nice weather. But we're not here for weather right now. We're here to talk Saints Game Day on the broadcast. We have 3 matches coming up tonight for you guys. We have 2 Call of Duty matches and an Overwatch game as well to split right down the middle.
Yeah, it's looking to be a good one. That's going to be a CCL COD match, 2 CCL COD matches, and that's going to be against University of Wisconsin and then against Midway University there. It's going to be a very good game. Can't wait to see that, but the real I want to say scary if you're a Saints fan is going to be that Overwatch match. That's going to be a NACE Varsity Premier League Overwatch match against Maryville. A very, very scary team to go up against. They're very, very good. But St. Clair's pretty good too. So I think we might have an amazing game today.
Right, and like you said, I mean, that Overwatch matchup is scary, and for the reason, ladies and gentlemen, is because Maryville University, when the Overwatch League kind of disbanded a couple of those rosters and dropped some teams, they were one of the first schools to start quickly sweeping up like pros and ex-pro players. So I know going through their lineups and everything, it's not too sure who's going to be starting tonight for their team just yet. We don't know lineups, obviously. But I can tell you right now that there are some ex-pros from like the Houston Outlaws, the Vancouver Titans, some more recent ones from, I know Dante's on the team from the LA Glads. And I believe there's also a player from the Shock as well. So like very high tier level of play, the highest tier level of play.
Yes.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how the Saints handle this, if they can handle it. So it's going to be interesting.
There we go. Potential lineup here.
Yeah, I was going to say, again, not too sure where or who's going to be starting, but I can tell you right now that it was, I believe, Luke Mino was on the Shock, False was on the Titans, Juby at the top was on the Outlaws, and then also Dante was a tank for the Gladiators of Los Angeles. And now on the other side as well for our lineup, some of these names that I recognize, especially someone who I got to give big shout-outs to, is our new tank player, Tread. He has been absolutely dominating the competition so far, and I think this is going to be a good test for him. Probably the best test that he'll probably get most likely this entire season, as well as the other guys, on just if they can hang around this level of competition and how they're going to perform today.
Yeah, I think Noxious for sure has had his fair share of encounters with these high-level players. He was on Team Canada for the Overwatch World Cup there.
Yeah.
And so he's used to it, but it's up now to his team to prove that they are up there with the big ones. Of course, they're all pretty much top 500, so they have a great chance. But let's look at the chances for our St. Clair Saints COD team here. Of course, the lineup is going to be Brandon. Oh, that's just their names there.
Yeah, I was going to say, not really.
Nacho is there, and Priestley.
Yeah, you see Nacho
and Brandon.
Priestley and Brandon, yeah, but Francis Miller.
That threw me off there. I'm not used to that name being there. But on the side of Wisconsin, we have Honey Badger, we have Angle, Key, and Silent. It looks like Honey Badger's also the coach for the team, but he's going to be playing today.
Probably just standing in, or, if they don't have that 4th player, then, there you go. He's probably just the IGL, right, in-game leader, and they just slap him in at coach. But from what I've seen so far from the Saints, I will say that I'm very impressed. I do know that they are coming off of a loss to Northwood from last week, but Northwood obviously has such a strong team, it's not very surprising. But the Saints, up until that point, 5-0 so far on the season, they're looking really, really, really good. And honestly, I hope they keep it up against a Badgers team that, if I did see correctly, are 0-6 and struggling.
Yeah, they seem to not be having a good run of it. But speaking of people who did have a good run of it, that's Northwood 6-0, being St. Clair's only loss.
2-3 too. Like, we were right there as well. So it's just, it is what it is. You can see that Northwood, they just got the edge on us both times in, I believe that's the hard point games. Yep. Like, look at that, 250 to 235. I mean, that's just an absolute killer. 15 points off. We're talking a matter of probably a little less than 8 seconds of control. So it's just absolutely, oh man, it's just heartbreaking. And you see, I believe it was also a search and destroy game that we dropped them 6-2 as well. So, all credit to Northwood. They're a great roster, 6-0. But, yeah, the Saints, they take a loss, but hopefully they're looking to bounce back. And then this is their second matchup as well against Midway Esports, who are doing pretty good themselves at 4-2.
Yeah, this second match of tonight is looking to be a little bit closer. They are 4-2. Saints, we'll see if that stands, though. They still have to play their next match. So we'll see if they're 5-2 and the Saints are 6-1. That's looking a little better than if they're 4-3 with the 60% win rate.
Yes.
So we'll see how that turns out. But they're looking pretty good going into this one. And the Saints are looking to have a fun night. It looks like, I would have to guess, I think they'll win 3-0 across the board. That's my guess. I think they're going to have a good upswing after their loss.
Midway.
Yes, I think they're going to have an absolutely astonishing day. They want to get back into the swing of things. They want to get the momentum back, and they're just coming off of a close loss, and they want to prove that it was close.
Well, I can say right now that I expect that St. Clair should be able to 3-0 Wisconsin, just based off the record. They're struggling right now, so should be a quick one there. And hopefully, you know what? I wasn't going to agree with you on the 3-0. I don't think I still am, but I could see it happening a little more now if the Saints do come off of a hot start, and maybe if Midway kind of fumbles a little bit. Yeah, you know what? Momentum-wise, I could see it happening, but I'm going to say right now that these are two close lineups. Give me 3-1 to the Saints on this series. I'm assuming just the 3-1 just because they're going to come off of that first series hot. I don't think they're going to drop many games after that tonight. It'll give them a chance to get locked. And assuming all things go well, yeah, 3-1 on that series. But let's talk about Overwatch predictions just for that one last one. This is going to be a little bit interesting. But me and you were talking about this pre-stream.
We were.
We have a common agreement, and I'll let you take it away on what that is.
Well, I believe that, the odds are stacked against the Saints. Yes, they're going up against a team of full of pro players. I think they're going to take it all the way. I think Maryville will definitely have the edge going into this. They're going to bring out the pro strats. They're going to have every angle covered, and they're going to try and defeat the Saints spirit there. But I think they're going to bring it back, make it 3-2. They're going to bring it to Game 5 at least, and they're going to win 2 games. Then the Saints will win 2 games, and it'll come down to the wire in that last and final game. But I think Maryville is going to have the edge there.
I was going to say, we had to close out on that. I was just making sure that he wasn't going to be like, yeah, and the Saints
and they bring it all the way.
Sweep, screw it. Just,
hey,
yeah,
potential. If we get to that point, I think it's possible.
No, but of course, you know what? The momentum, sure. But like I said, I could see it happening. But again, it would be very preposterous, at least, to bet against this Maryville team right now. So, Saints, if any of you guys pre-match are in the stream right now for whatever reason, you're not in scrims. 1, lock in, get on scrims or get in the aim labs. 2, please prove us wrong. if that would be absolutely amazing if you could prove us wrong. And but no, we got 3-2 to Maryville. Should be a very entertaining series, though.
Yeah, we have a lot of interesting games stacked up tonight, but we're still going to be waiting to get into lobby, so we're going to throw it to a quick break. We'll be right back with COD. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first game for the game day. It's going to be a St. Clair College Saints versus Wisconsin-Madison. Here we are on Hardpoint. We're going to be starting off from KB's perspective. Now we're going to look over at Wisconsin. Looks like the first Hardpoint is going to be under the control of Wisconsin-Madison. They get the first kill. Brandon gets one right back, though. And this is looking to be an interesting game so far.
Right, I mean, you know, this team on St. Clair, they do so good in these respawn modes, so especially off of the start that we saw Wisconsin had going 0-6 so far in the season, it should be, I know it's a little early to call, of course, but St. Clair should have this win pretty comfortably, barring an upset. And as more kills get on the board, it's going to be Brandon and Priestley getting off to a red-hot start. KB going, or I believe that was Nacho going down. And now Key as well, not going to quite find the engagement. Brandon is just ripping people apart with that Rival 9. And as the Saints kind of get comfy, start throwing down their trophies and just kind of sit there, they now can kind of camp this hard point out. It's going to be Brandon again with the pickup. Yeah,
now they're going to control the map here. Look at them picking them off one by one. Look at that, all green in the kill feed. Ensai getting 2 with Priestley getting 1 in return. Now we're going to be looking over at the next hard point. That's going to be in the Saints' control once again. Wisconsin-Madison needs to get some map control, but it's going to be hard to do with aim from the Saints like that.
Such good crossfires from the players on the MCW. Of course, we know that's usually the gun of choice, as most other assault rifles, I believe, are banned right now for competitive play. And same with the Rival 9, the SMG usually of choice. However, a lot more versatility in that department. Brandon with a start right now that is just unmatched. 9-0. He hasn't even died yet. The Saints holding decent control right now, and they have a little more time to burn. They might start seeing some players rotate. It's going to be what happens. The pre-fire comes through, but it's not going to work out in the Saints' favor. Brandon rotating around. He kind of has a inkling on this player coming through the breach, and it's going to be exactly just that. Cleans him up again. Saints with control, and as the players just kind of hold these head peeks and head glitches behind the dumpster, Brandon holding a high angle onto the doorway. It's going to be a pretty solid hold here. They're going to start getting their trophy systems down. It's a good flank by Honey Badger, but again, the trade comes out immediately. And in these respawn game modes, it's such a strength for the Saints. They are so good at finding the refrags and kind of sitting in these wrap positions and not moving an inch. They just do such a good job there. And the kill feed hasn't gone red for what seems like forever.
No, and I must point out that Priestley and Brandon are both on massive kill streaks. Priestley 13-1 and Brandon 10-0, not dying even in this respawn game mode. KB getting a nice double, triple, wiping out the team in seconds, and now the Saints go even further into the lead here with Brandon getting a nice long shot as well.
Right, and I mean, just a disgusting play by KB. And, you know, some of these players are already kind of sitting on where this next hard point is. The Saints are so smooth at this rotation. Get the slide come through. Yes, Priestley finding the other one. The head angle there just being held out. The head glitch from Brandon, I believe, or no, that's Nacho. But he should pick up this next one as well. It's going to be just that, dodging the Semtex. An amazing play so far from St. Clair. They're just playing absolutely flawless. Should have the long angle there from Brandon, and that's going to be exactly what does in the Wisconsin player. Wow, I mean, this is just absolutely unreal. I don't think I've seen a Wisconsin player pick up a kill now for about 2 minutes. KB with a headshot as well. The far angle is finally going to lose out. Brandon finally dies after 14 kills. I mean, wow, if you're Wisconsin, you need to find a way to get back into this game quick. I mean, it's almost already over. The Saints just about to reach that 200 mark. And I mean, Wisconsin hasn't even had control of the hard point for what I believe has been more than about 15 seconds.
Not even 12 seconds.
Yeah, not even.
And look at that, just firing from this building. Brandon finds 2 out of nowhere, and they finds another just on the stairs. The map awareness from the Saints is unreal, and a 20 kill streak for Priestley is insane. And it's looking like just barely the Saints are going to need another hard point after this.
Right, and I'm literally sitting here and I'm like, is Priestley gonna get a nuke by the time it's all over? He's on 21 right now, ladies and gentlemen. We can count it up. It's going to be the engagement from Nacho as well, picking up that 10 kill streak. But I'm really looking here at Priestley. The game should end, honestly, before he gets it. They're looking to obviously play just the match instead of the potential 30-bomb kill streak from Priestley. With a little under 5 seconds left now, this should be the undoing of St. Clair, but it is going to be Wisconsin that takes control of this hard point. However, the rotation from St. Clair's most likely already came in, and I am actually wrong. I believe it was Wisconsin who held it for a second, but now the Saints should take this control. This should be all she wrote. Hardpoint is contested. Priestley now on 22 kill streak. Can he find another one? No, the player's just going to drop right below him. Has to deal with the other one first. Nacho holding the cross, and it's not going to go his way. Wisconsin now does have control of this hardpoint, but you have to think too little too late right now, as the Saints do contest. Literally one wrong move from any of these players on Wisconsin, and that is going to be Raps. Honey Badger getting knocked down. Priestley has a 25 kill streak. That is absolutely absurd. The Saints are probably just going to look to just ride this one out. They have a lot of time to reposition. They can play patient here. And Priestley's going to get the double as well. 29, can he find the nuke? No, not quite. 29 kill streak, though, coming in from Priestley in an absolutely ungodly showing of skill and aim. I mean, that's got to be the biggest streak of the season so far, easily. No players come close to getting a nuke, let alone 25 kill streaks. I mean, or 29.
Yeah, 29.
Priestley started with a death. He started with a death. And right after the first engagement, it's almost as if he got the death and was just kind of like, oh yeah, no, it's done. I'm mad now. And that is just absolutely unreal. That was probably the most one-sided game of Hardpoint I've ever seen.
No, Priestley definitely had something to prove there. Almost getting a nuke at game one. Wow, what an amazing start for the Saints, and what a tough start if you're Wisconsin-Madison. I don't know what your game plan going next is supposed to be. Well, do you have any tips for?
What I will say
Take out Priestley.
The Saints are a little bit better on these respawn modes. They're not as profound or known for their S&D gameplay. So if you are Wisconsin, you are looking to definitely show the upset on S&D, but then we go back into another respawn game mode like Control. And if you're going to let Priestley just go for 29 uncontested, that's not going to last very long. So, I mean, it's still speechless. I mean, the guy just, let's just sit here and talk. The guy didn't just drop 29 in a row without dying. Like that, I mean,
that's insane.
In a collegiate league level, right? Like these other players in Wisconsin, sure, it's not necessarily the best team, but that doesn't mean that these players are necessarily bad. Like, for all we know, they might not be that low ranked. Obviously, it just seemed like St. Clair just, made it look that way, but you never know, right? Like, on a given day, they qualified, they're here in this league, like, they're in the league. They had to do stuff to get in the league, and even if they didn't, they had to play the competition and at least make games, somewhat contested, you would think.
They are on a loss streak, though.
They are, but I don't know. That was just
it was a rough showing.
You can't sit here and harp on them at the end of the day. You have to look at the other way, and you just have to praise what the Saints just showed us instead, right? Like, you can't get on Wisconsin's back about that. It was just simply, you know what? They showed up, and the Saints just absolutely put on a beautiful showing.
Yeah, they played to the top, best of their ability there. Every player did, honestly. Like, not to count out the rest of Priestley's teammates, but they all played very consistently. Like, he was neck and neck. Oh, like, I think he was like 0-13 before he got a death. He had a massive kill streak as well.
Right. I mean, we're talking about Priestley. We're just going to glance over the fact that, like, Nacho, I believe, had, like, a 12 kill streak at the end as well.
Yeah, I think so,
Brandon had a 14 kill streak before he even died. He was 14-0 at one point. Like, we're not even talking about that. And if Priestley didn't drop 29 on any other game that I've casted, that would immediately be like the talk of the town.
Exactly.
But when a guy goes for a damn near nuke, like,
especially game one too, no warm up.
Game one too, right? Like, yeah, no warm up, just straight in. I mean, you have to think this is the perfect time if the Saints can just take this 3-0 off of a high like that. I'm starting to think that your prediction on 3-0 on midday on the second team is probably going to be like, you know, not as crazy as it sounds. I could see them doing it.
It's possible.
Based on
it's
what
possible.
I just saw.
It's possible.
If Priestley plays like this versus Midway, Midway's going to have a long night.
Or a short, or a very unexpectedly short night.
Right. Of course. It's going to feel long for them, though, because it's just going to be like absolutely nothing going their way. But of course, you know, that team is very different. 4-2. You know, they've won their games, so it is, and I'm sure it will not feel like this quite the same way. But again, just such a dominant showing from the Saints on that first hardpoint game, and you have to really think that on S&D, if they can't get anything going together here for Wisconsin, like that's kind of a telltale sign. If our Saints win the S&D game in Game 2, it's more than likely a 3-0 because they're better at those respawn game modes.
Yes,
so that can kind of be a quick and easy way of like telling how the series is going to end up going. So that would probably be my prediction. But I mean, as of right now, I am. I'm like coming up with words, but I'm so
well,
lost
I'm just going to say, like, even if it is not a respawn game mode, the Saints really didn't use that many respawns. I think everybody, the rest of the team had 5 deaths each. They played at the top of their abilities, and I'm excited to see what they do next. I'm going to throw it to a quick break, though, as everybody gets into lobby, and we'll be right back with the second game. And here we are with Game 2, Search and Destroy. And Destroy Nacho Slayer is as he gets the first kill.
Does he know about the player who's rotating underneath of him? And yep, that's the answer. So Nacho's going to be able to get the pickup and KB as well. Immediate 4v1. It is going to be Silent that picks up 1 though, but as his position is called out, they're just trying to play the cross angles. They're just trying to make sure they don't give anything up. I don't believe that he saw the St. Clair player standing above the stairwell, and as he moves up, he just gets the butt of a gun straight to the face.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the bonk of the pistol is a little disrespectful, but you know, you got to be looking where you're running when you're running up these stairs. You have to play it a little bit slower when you're the last person remaining. Right,
and I mean, you know, there's just so much. I was saying earlier that you need to make St. Clair pay here in the S&D game, but if Wisconsin can't do that, I really don't have any confidence for them going into this third control map. Like, no, you know, like. However, what I will say is there you go. That's the change you need. They pick up KB immediately. Does Brandon know about the players just kind of prone around him? Nacho under some heavy fire. Brandon will go down. Priestley's going to pick up 1, and there you go. All of a sudden, a 3v1 for Priestley. He's going to find the first. Semtex do out, but his position is no. And he's going to find the second as well on the jump shot. And wow, now this all of a sudden might turn into a 3v1 clutch. He has the diffuser in hand, has the sights of the player, but he's not going to be able to land the shots required to put the last one down. Wisconsin, with a win, they get a round on the board.
Yeah, there we go. If on a win for Wisconsin-Madison, it's going to be looking good here. You know, these S&D game modes really let you think a bit more, play a little bit more logically than just reaction-based. So it's really going to go in Wisconsin's favor. And now that they have a win, they can maybe try and take a game off of St. Clair. But now St. Clair is going to try and make a response here, get another round on the board, keep pace with Wisconsin-Madison.
And you know, one thing that I saw St. Clair doing last time that we casted COD was that they kind of pushed up very aggressively to start. Seems like it's going to be Wisconsin trying to do the same thing. They send a 3-man push up to the A site. But Priestley knows the better of one. He's going to find the stun and find the second one as well. Does he have the ammunition to go for the third? Not quite yet. Repeaks, and he's going to do exactly just that. Absolutely disgusting 3K from Priestley. And just kind of showing why this has been such a, you know, not I don't really know how to say.
Uncontested?
Yeah, like uncontested matchup. I mean, Priestley is off of an absolute burner. We all saw him just streak for 29. And he's going to keep it up. It's going to be Nacho who finds the final kill. But they just could not clear Priestley off of the roadblocks. I mean, he just absolutely went crazy. Finds the first one through the window. Stun goes out. Switches to the Renetti, I believe.
Yes.
Gets that second one. Repeaks, has the time to prone, reload. Repeaks, hits absolutely nothing but head. And just finds the third. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. He's going on an absolute burner right now. If he cannot get shut down by Wisconsin, this night's going to end very quickly.
Yeah, right now they're keeping pace though. Wisconsin-Madison is like
There's
with
the
a trade right there, and then they get another one. They're
Wow,
doing very well on
double
defense.
From Silent as well.
Ooh, KB gets one from above. Now the plant is looking to go down close to BU. They found one more. They find him underneath the ground, and now it's down to Key once again. But it's a 1v2. It's not completely unwinnable for him.
He's going to pop the dead Silent just to cover his tracks on the rotate. Should be able to find the first one. A little bit of questionable aim, though. And as the cross does come through, it is going to be St. Clair who take that third round. I do want to talk about someone on Wisconsin, though. It is going to be Silent. He has been the thing that's actually kept this interesting so far. Silent has done a very good job, even finding the double kill and the first pick onto Priestley off of the trade. Silent's been doing a decent job of this game so far. And he might be kind of the spark plug that Wisconsin need to kind of rely on if they want to get back into it. However, at the end of the day, no one can 1v4 for 5 rounds straight. He's going to need some help from his teammates to kind of get this thing rolling a little bit because it hasn't been the best showing so far from Wisconsin, to say the least. Mind you, they do have a round on the board, and it is going to be Key that finds the first one. The refrag will come back out, though, from guess who? Priestley, who is currently 8-2 through not even 5 rounds yet. I mean, just absolutely disgusting numbers. He should have the jump on the player, but it is going to be the sprint that reveals his position to Priestley. He's going to untuck from the position. Honey Badger will find one now, and now him and Silent can kind of just, you know, keep together. I believe that they are going to look to try to plant B, but the player will get cut down from KB. It's going to be Silent now in a 1v2. He has to go prone now, taking shots from the first. They know of his position. Can't rotate any deeper than back behind that bridge, and he has to take a long-range gunfight eventually. It's going to be the 2 players on St. Clair who can just kind of wait. One can get aggressive, one doesn't have to, can play the refrag. It's going to be exactly how that one goes down.
Yeah, now the Saints, when it was relatively close, 2-1, they're just running away with it right now, 4-1. It's all up to Wisconsin-Madison to try and keep pace here. They need to start winning some rounds, and that's going to be tough, as it's all going to come down to this round. I think this round they do have the advantage. They are going to be on attack. They can choose when they can make these plays, or they're going to be on the defense. They've been winning. The one round they won was on the defense. So I think they might have a good chance of winning this one as long as they play their cards right.
Right, I mean, there's just so much to do, though, if you are Wisconsin. You haven't been able to shut down Priestley, and we're talking about Priestley right now. Like, he's on an absolute tear on 9, but he even has tied with the most deaths on the squad. They haven't been able to find kills onto Brandon or KB for a long time, and St. Clair is going to go for an aggressive plant on A very quickly, kind of like what I was saying, how they were kind of playing last time. But they are in a 3v3 scenario, so they can't get too cocky just yet. This next pick is going to mean so much in terms of how players can play trades, but it is going to be Brandon to find the first. The slide into the second, Slaya is ready to go on that. And as Silent jumps around from building to building, his position has definitely been called out. They know about it from the sound cues, emerges from the window and absolutely gets shut down the second that pixel changes color.
He was not so silent, stomping around upstairs. Definitely alerted the enemy there. Look at that, he saw him jump up there. Brandon It's gonna secure that kill. And now it's down. It's a match point. It's a do or die for Wisconsin-Madison here. They don't want to lose this game too, but it's looking like it's gonna go to St. Clair here.
Yeah, there's not too much to really go over other than the fact that they just can't find an answer for Priestley and KB right now. They are absolutely ripping apart Wisconsin-Madison. I mean, Angle is like, you know, no offense to the guy, he's 0-6 right now. He's not having a good game. Like, I think I can go ahead and say that and not have anything backfire on me. He needs to try to keep it together. He needs to try to find something, and he's just going to go to 0-7 now as I'm talking about that.
They're wiping
St.
them all
Clair
out.
is just wiping right now. I mean, there's not even really much to get too excited for because this has been almost every round right now. It just seems like they're not able to find the refrags on the side of Wisconsin. And as the four players kind of converge onto Honey Badger, playing Ring Around the Rosie, as he backs up this St. Clair player in KB, I thought was going to have the flank. I mean, Nacho was just absolutely toying with him there. Could have shot him. Was just probably trying to get the assassination off. But it will be St. Clair to find that final round. It will be St. Clair to find that final win. And it's going to be St. Clair to find a 6-1 victory and a series point.
Yeah, they are looking very good in the series right now. And while they did have a little bit of success early on, winning an early round against the Saints just matched pace. They really put it into high gear, just ran away with it there at the end. And that's just a continuation of what we saw with the first game. Really, it seems like the Saints are just playing at the top of their game. You know, teams have good days, they have bad days. And sometimes a bad day for a team syncs up with a good day for a team, which seems to be happening today.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the only thing that you can really attribute this to. And you have to think, maybe it's a little bit on the mental as well for Wisconsin, right? I mean, 0-6, their mental heading into today probably isn't that good. So, again, going into Control, to me, it's just going to be so hard to see them, one, even get the win, let alone two, then have to reverse sweep, right? So it just doesn't seem very probable. But we'll have the answer coming up soon after we get back to you after a short break.
And welcome back to Game 3 of CCL COD. It's going to be St. Clair Saints versus Wisconsin Madison. Saints have been having a great run of it. They started off great with 2 kills.
Right, they're already starting to capture Zone A as well. I believe they're about to get the second tick so far, and they have the first 5 picks on lives remaining off the board as well. Strong start from the Saints in all departments. But the trades do sort of come through now for Wisconsin. And St. Clair, you know, they are getting that A control, but if they can't capture B, the lives are looking somewhat close right now. It's going to be Wisconsin, though, that really needs to kind of keep that in the back of their minds, though, that lives aren't the only things that matter here. If they give up that B control quickly, this could be a very quick end to round 1. And so they got to kind of keep that on the back of their minds. But they have gotten this lives, they have gotten this lives remaining down to only 3. So, you know what? They are coming back a little bit. But again, just got to keep in the back of your mind that you do have to get rid of that control point as well. And the Saints are looking to capture that right about now. They're probably just setting up. They have their positioning down. KB and Nacho finding 2 so far. And Honey Badger just looks like he absolutely just didn't want to be in any part of that hallway. Like he honestly just took his hands off of the MNK or the controller and just said, nope, that's it, I'm done.
And so, I would say the same thing. If you look at the kill feed, that's an absolute team wipe. And that's going to be a capture. The first point going over to the Saints. And now they just need to defend the entire time and then redo that. And that's the entire series going over to them. But that could be a hard thing to do depending on if Wisconsin plays a little bit better on the attack. I'm curious to see it because they were keeping pace with kills. So if they can keep doing that, they play the long game, they might be able to do this.
However, I will say that, yes, while they were keeping up with kills, I think the thing in St. Clair's mind wasn't necessarily the kill department. It was just, hey, we can sacrifice a couple of lives here and there if it means that we can just hold these power positions on the point that we are capturing over everything, right? So it might just kind of be a little bit of a tale of that, but you never know, right? As Nacho picks up the first blood, it is going to be St. Clair who I believe are trying to defend that A point right now. Brandon jumping through the building. I believe he does have an idea of where this player is. The repeat from Priestley is going to pick up another one as well. KB going down to a headshot, but Brandon quick to trade out Silent. Nacho adding onto that kill board as well. Priestley going to be traded back out from Angle. Nacho finding the retrade right back. They are so good at just refragging. Yeah,
they are very good at that. And now KB's finding kills. Ooh, nice pistol kill from Honey Badger. He's going to get out with that. He's zooming out of here as Enslayer is on the hunt. They meet each other up top, but they just like 2 ships passing in the sea. They run right past each other. They're actually getting nice progress on B. They almost have a tick here. Saints are trying to contest, but they managed to get 1 tick on the board here. Now the Saints are going to shut that right down, but they don't manage to do it, but teammates there to clean it up. Now we're seeing the trades come back and forth from the teams. Looks like Wisconsin Madison is starting to liven up here. Now they're making progress over on A. If they can manage to cap this A, buy themselves a little bit more time, they might be able to take this round here. Ensley finds 1, for another, gets the jump shot. He's very, very low, and Ensley gets 2, and then KB cleans up his own kill there, and now they prevent the capture of A. And just as they do that, B is going to start to take progress here.
Right, I mean, the Saints are definitely playing a little more for lives here, but I will say, you know, Wisconsin's doing a really good job this time, way better than the first round. I know they're a little less close on lives, but you look at the control board right now, and they have a little bit of everything going on for both points. So St. Clair does have to be careful right now that if they do start to make too much of a commitment, they might find themselves losing from control here. But as the lives do start to teeter down, it is going to be, I believe it was KB on a streak of 5. And yeah, just as everything gets cleaned up now, Wisconsin has to play so careful. And as they run into St. Clair's crossfires, it is going to be Nacho to take out 1. With 7 seconds left, there will not be a chance to take point because there's not enough time left. And since St. Clair has the life advantage, they are inevitably going to be able to take this second round as well. So this is the last life right now for Wisconsin. They are on series point, match point. I mean, it's going to take so much to get rid of this St. Clair team. If Wisconsin somehow comes back to even take one game, they then have to pull the reverse sweep.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it's over, but
exactly, we've seen crazier things happen.
We have seen crazier things happen, but this has got to be the closest thing that you can possibly get to, or at least probably the hardest situation to come back from. So, if you are on the board for St. Clair, you know, you just got to kind of keep doing what you're doing. Unless you're Brandon, because right now you're 4-8. But other than him, everyone else is doing absolutely wonderful. And even, you know, even though Brandon might be going 4-8, he might be kind of holding down power positions, not letting rotations come through. There are other things that you have to think about here when it comes to COD. It's not necessarily all about the kills. But so far, St. Clair are doing a pretty good job. They have the 3-kill advantage, make that 4 on lives remaining. And you look across the board, Nacho's 18-4, Priestley 17-6, KB 16-6, and it should be the 17th as a drop shot comes through. Absolutely disgusting. He will be traded back, but not after he throws up an absolute highlight for the reel, as if we haven't seen probably about like 50 of them so far tonight.
And wow, they almost cap A, but Wisconsin-Madison had good positioning there and managed to stop the cap here. But with KB and Enslight getting 2 kills, that B site's going to be making good progress in the meantime. Key going to get 1, but this B site's just kind of being uncontested right now. Wisconsin-Madison needs to do something about this. Finds 1 through the door, but gets taken out even though it gets the jump.
Like, what?
And now, look at that, just reading the kill feed. The Saints are just have absolute control over the map, and B is secured, leaving only 1 more tick over on A. With 2 kills going over to the Saints, it's looking very, very dire for Wisconsin-Madison here. They run, but they just get gunned down, and now they have to run all the way from spawn, and it's not going to be enough. And the series is going to go over to St. Clair College, 3-0.
Right, and I mean, again, probably one of the most one-sided series that you could ever see. It's going to be KB on the end, just on that final kill cam. MCW jump shot has the 2 headshots as well. I mean, this St. Clair team has just been doing so good. You know, I would put Brandon on blast for going 5-8, but everyone else has just been doing so amazing, and I mean, that was the most one-sided series that you could probably get out of that.
Unfortunately, yes. Sometimes those good and bad days sync up, especially with Priestley almost getting a nuke in game 1 is insane.
Yeah, that was gross.
That's just absolute insanity. You can tell that there was just a little bit of a skill gap there, or just something was going on there. Anyway, either way, the Saints played at the top of the game there, and they have another game at, I believe that's going to be 8:30. No, that's going to be Overwatch game is at 8:30. I believe it's going to be at 9 p.m. is going to be our next COD game. But pretty soon, coming up pretty soon, is going to be our Overwatch game.
Right. And that's going to be such a good matchup, like I said. Well, you know, for us to cast at least, it's going to be very fun to have some of these bigger names here in the server. But again, we'll kind of get to that soon, hopefully. But before we do, we'll most likely be sending it off to a small break, and we'll see you live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the long-awaited NACE Overwatch match. Here we are, Maryville University versus St. Clair Saints, and it's off to an explosive start as Emeren finds the first pick on the tank, and now the Saints should be able to turn this into a nice win here.
Yeah, I mean, first pick onto the tank, and not just any tank. You guys will recognize that name if you do watch the Overwatch League, Dante, as well. In fact, most of these guys on the lineup, some know Juby as well, you know, Vision, Squid King. These are very well-known names in the Overwatch community, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the Saints start out. And they are, oh, wow, they started off well, but now when you have Tread down and Soaks gone as well, yeah, it should just be kind of a roll here from Maryville. Let's go over some lineups, though, to start off. Both teams running the Echo, both teams running the Lucio and the Tracer as well. Not surprising.
And Kiriko. It's the same comp.
Right, I mean, the same comp, it's mirrored, I guess, yeah. But also, just because that dive meta is just so huge right now, there is, to be honest, no better DPS right now, probably, out than Tracer. I mean, a lot of people view Sombra as a second best, but she's a little easier to kind of deal with when you can kind of all stick together, really excelling in those 1v1
Wow, Tread gets two. It looks like it's swinging in the Saints' favor. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, and absolutely. Go for it.
They're taking down the pros here, and they're retaking the point. Yes, Maryville did get 40%, but now it's in the Saints' favor. And just to expand upon what you were saying, yes, Tracer's so strong now because those high fire rate characters just do absolutely more work than they should with the new DPS passive, which negates healing for every shot taken. So even if you just spray, yeah, it's insane. So as you can tell, these dive comps are just so brutal. And now it's going to go into Maryville again. They need to try and reclaim this point.
Wow, Tread. Yeah, I was going to say, he's going to have to force out the Meteor Strike, just simply stay alive. But a decent usage, you would think, nope, get stuck by the Pulse Bomb immediately, has to dive out there, hopefully finding the punch. However, it seems like St. Clair losing that Echo and now losing that Kiri, it might, or no, sorry, that was Maryville. Sorry, looking at the wrong side of the board. Losing that Kiri. This might be a good push here from St. Clair. The boop does come in, though, onto Soaks, but Razor is going to clean up onto Vision, and that's massive right now. St. Clair are able to just kind of hold. And I must say, you know what? They are really holding on here. They're definitely doing a lot better than what I would have pinned them for. They're in the lead. I mean, hell, they might win this right now. The Kitsune rush does come through for St. Clair as well. They can kind of use this to kind of build up on this right now, this surge that is kind of going all St. Clair. An amazing Pulse Bomb, and that's such a big effect as well, going on to the tank. That is going to be most likely going to probably build them to about 90% before the tank even gets back and onto the point. It is going to be Tread trying to clean up. Emeren finding two as well. This is an absolute rolling. St. Clair are doing a beautiful job forcing Dante to retreat back. He has no one around them. It is going to be a 10-kill streak from Tread. An absolutely amazing start. St. Clair, I mean, I'm tipping my hat off to them. No matter how this game goes, even if Maryville comes back and takes it, a beautiful showing first point in the map. I mean, this is nothing what I expected it to be. Yeah,
they're going toe-to-toe with ex-Overwatch pros right now, and they are in the lead. There's an Echo ult. Emeren's going to take this one, take on the Doomfist here. Now we have a little bit of a duel. We have the Soundberry being popped by Maryville. Emeren trying to get the nades off, gets one kill. King going to get the kill, actually, and now that's going to be a team wipe of St. Clair going over to Maryville. The point's going to flip over to them, but it's not over yet. The Saints still have one or so more pushes left, but just looking at that ult on the Echo, they're going to have a lot to go up against.
Right, but I mean, they have the beat. They are going to most likely have the Pulse Bomb if they can just keep it. I wouldn't think that they were going to be able to find the Meteor Strike out of the Doom, but you got to think it's going to come down to this final point here, this final push. It is definitely going to be the final push now with them taking the time. The dive does come through. It's going to be Noxious off the beat, has more health, looking for the pick onto the Echo, going inside of sight now. Damage onto the tank, throwing out the Pulse Bomb. He is going to find the stick onto, I believe it was a Kiriko, but the Suzu comes in just in time to save. And now it is going to be the most likely hold from Maryville. They will be able to hold out here and find this objective. A very strong showing from St. Clair, but as the Pulse Bomb did come down, he did stick the Kiriko, and the Kiriko just had enough time to get that Suzu off before the explosion happened. So timed it really well. But if that pick does come through, you have to imagine it's most likely kind of looking like a swing in the opposite direction. So, you know what? I mean, again, I am very surprised that they kept it that close, let alone what I thought should have probably been, hey, you know what? They could have won that there for sure.
Definitely. It was much closer than a lot of people I'm sure were expecting for just a collegiate team going up against just a team of the best of the best. Of course, the league's over now, but that experience really pays off, and it looks like the Saints have the experience to go toe-to-toe with them here. Now we're looking on the second board. We have a little bit of a switch-up from the Saints, hoping that maybe this is the counter they need. Going for the Ramattra, and starting off with the Symmetra TP just to get there first. Now we're going to see Vision take on the other Tracer in a duel, being kept up by this Kiriko. Not going to find all too much, though, as we flip over to Dante. He's being pushed back by this Ramattra.
Watch out for the Lucio boop.
The range diff is just a little bit much. You know, the Doomfist can go toe-to-toe with those Lucio boops, though. He has quite the kit of movement right now. Dante going for a punch. Misses it. Now King going to get a pick. And we're going to find one right back, though. Now it's getting a little bit dicey. King getting another kill. It's a support down, but Tread gets the tank down. And now the point should go over to the Saints if they can pick off the rest. But King is just being so dang annoying, getting these picks back and forth. Noxious going to take down King, but now there's Lucio there still contesting, and Vision actually going to get the pick on Noxious. And, well, this should go over to the Saints. Maryville stalled long enough for the tank to get back here, and now Dante is just dealing the big damage here, getting the punch on the tank, just shutting them all down, keeping them off of this point. And he almost gets the boop there, but he just barely survives.
The ledge opportunity just barely there. Dante canceling out the punch. They have the hold they need, diving into the back line now, trying to find a pick on one of the supports or just stacking up onto Tread. But Tread does have backup. The healing, though, not enough to keep him quite alive, as we do know that with that DPS in the Tracer following behind Dante, that 20% reduction of the healing does kick in, and it is ultimately going to be their undoing. So really impressive so far from Maryville, but St. Clair are not out of this just yet, only at 25% on the point. It is going to be a close game, you have to imagine. Going to be interesting to see how St. Clair can kind of bounce back from this.
Of course. As we see, the fight is going on, but there's more fights going on here at St. Clair. We have our COD game also happening. And if you want to look at that, you can also do !streams in the chat to stay up to date with the latest streams going on right now. But nonetheless, we're going to focus back in on this Overwatch match, as this is the battle of the ages going on right now for this point. There's so many ults being dropped. There's the annihilation from the Ramattra. He finds not a kill, but he finds a turret there. And Dante going to take down Soaks. And these pros are just tearing through St. Clair College right now. St. Clair's throwing everything they have at it, but they're just able to sustain, bob, and weave out of all their attacks.
Right, and such a good usage of the Meteor Strike from Dante, decent usage of the copy as well, countering that annihilation, I believe, as well off the back of the beat from the Lucio. They played everything perfectly, and it was very easy to kind of play counterplay, and now with both teams relying on a Pulse Bomb to kind of start this engagement, whether the Tracers want to think about holding or maybe using. The whole point is St. Clair needs something and they need it quick. And with the damage that they're taking right now, onto these early engagements, it's hard to heal it back. It is going to be the kill onto Tread as well. The stick plus the assist from King as well, who will pick up the kill. The recall, but it's not going to take Emerin anywhere other than, or sorry, Noxious anywhere other than his death. Emerin and Soaks going down on the board as well. It's just going to be kind of a wipe. And I mean, off the back of that death from Tread, you could kind of see it coming through. The tank's not going to have enough time to get back there. But Maryville had their setup. They had what they wanted. And it really just showed you that maybe map 1 was just kind of a warm-up game for them. They really looked absolutely dominant here. Let's watch the play of the game. Off of the back of the Kitsune rush, just healing up that Doom, keeping him alive. The beat comes down as well. It's absolutely perfect. Finding a bunch of damage. Headshot onto the Lucio as well, helping out on the kill with Emerin, and also the assist on the Noxious. Beautiful play there from the Kiriko.
Yeah, great showing from both teams, but Maryville can play a little bit better. But speaking of playing better, the Saints are playing very well this game, but the hard point is going to go to Midway right now. A little bit more pushback right now. Looks like, look at that, all blue in the kill feed, but Priestley tries to change that, but he's just a little bit too aggressive. He's going to go down. 25 more seconds on this hard point. The Saints want to try at least get a little bit of the crap time here. It's not go their way. Brandon going to be taken down. Actually, KB going to take one down, and Grim going to get a kill in return.
Right, I mean, you know, Midway, they are a better team than Wisconsin. There's the team kill that does come through. And actually, you know, it's kind of funny. The nades for St. Clair have actually been finding a couple of TKs in most recent times. This time is going to come through the way of the gun. But what I was talking about earlier, Midway is 4-2 currently. They are a good team, so it's going to be interesting to see how St. Clair kind of use this high of the 3-0 win off of Wisconsin to kind of take control. Hopefully, they're able to find their matchups. The double kill is so far going out on the kill board, and it's going to be Brandon and pick up another one as well. The switch comes through from Nacho, and he's going to be able to find it. Now, St. Clair, they have decent kills so far across the board. Priestley, the main one to keep an eye off on. You know, honestly, based off the fact that he dropped 29 straight in the last hardpoint, it's no surprise to see him dropping 14 and 7 right now. Of course, the numbers may look a lot smaller, but when you think about the level of competition, no, he is really doing such a great job of staying ahead of the pack. St. Clair gets their first 100.
Yeah, they're on 100 now. Midway not too far behind, but that's an entire hardpoint or so behind, so it's going to be tough to make those points up, but hey, they start off on a good note here. They're starting off in control. So just need to play the defensive here and try and lock down some of these Saints. Looks like they're doing so as they find the first pick, find a second. Now the Saints are trying to worm their way into their nest, but it looks like Manic is there to shut him down. KB finds Twirlings though. This hard point is going to be a little bit hard for the Saints to worm their way into. But look at that, hiding in the corner. He finds one, looking for another, but he's not going to appear here. Running very quickly with the pistol. Brandon finds one on Grim.
Right, but right now they have to try to find a way to shut down Manic on the 4-kill streak right now, bringing himself back from 6 and 10 to 10 and 10, and he's not looking to slow down anytime soon. Going to find the 5th as well. Manic is on absolute fire. He is the one right now who needs to be shut down if you are St. Clair. And you have to think with them taking the hardpoint advantage right now. With only 3 seconds left, you have to imagine most Saints players are probably just trying to rotate to where the next hardpoint will be. The pick does come through from Nacho, and now as we go into our multi-stream, we will see that our second map is going to be on Kings Row for Overwatch.
Yeah, these payload maps can either go very quickly or very, very slowly. And right now, the Saints want this to be quick as they can, as they are starting on the attack. We're seeing a similar comp as we saw the first time. And Shred gonna be dueling it out on the Doomfists. He's gonna try and take down this area superiority here. Vision is on the point, guarding it very, very well. Gonna take down one of the DPSs. He's gonna worm his way in, try and take out the back line.
Right, I mean, Vision right now, he was on the Tracer last game as well, was doing so good, finding some critical pulse bombs, but also just picks onto the Echo as well. It's not very common that you see the Tracer finding picks onto the Echo, as the Echo can usually play the range, but because of just the fact that there's not a lot of healing going down, it just turns into such much more of a dire situation. Every little bit of damage from a DPS player really does count. And especially when you're playing the Echo as well, getting into the high areas, finding some shots from above, not taking too much penalty as you come back down. It's very interesting to see how Maryville is kind of just keeping St. Clair at bay. Now, mind you, if St. Clair can find a pick, it means so much more for the fact that they are attacking, they have the near spawn, and they will most likely be able to take that point off the pick, you would think, because as soon as that trickle down, that domino effect starts to happen, it should kind of be all she wrote for the point. But they are not finding anything right now. It is Maryville with such a dominating showing. Not used to seeing our Saints getting dominated like this, but when you are dealing with a bunch of ex-pros, you really have to give respect where it's due. It is simply art what you are seeing, and Maryville is putting on quite the show.
The Saints are getting a masterclass in Overwatch right now as Vision is just taking out Soaks now. Gonna try and take him out. There's a double Kitsune Rush coming out. There's gonna be bullets flying everywhere. King finds the first pick, and now Vision's gonna be going in here. He's gonna try and land the pulse bomb, but he doesn't even need it as they take them all down anyways. Good ult conservation from them. Even have the sound barrier if things start to go south. Maryville is just in a very good spot right now. The Saints, I kind of might want to see a team comp. Maybe this is just the meta pick for them, but I think they need to try and change things up, try and play different matchups.
Yeah, they need to find something quick. And if they can't find it off of these ults, you can imagine they're probably most likely going to look for a switch here because they need a change and they need it fast. Right now, Maryville is doing such a good job of stalling, and you have to think that if St. Clair can't get anything off of this copy or the pulse bomb, the beat does go down from St. Clair, and the Meteor Strike, I believe, is... No, sorry. No, oh, I thought it was active for a second, but not quite. The beat is gone now, and Razor is going to be first off the board. They do find that pick, though, onto the Tracer on Vision, so this could be the start of something nice. But, again, Tracer can get back to this point so quickly. As they put pressure on Dante, he will force the Meteor Strike out of him just to reserve life after that health pack was taken. The Lucio having a tough time right now in the inside of that building, but while riding through is just going to be able to heal himself back up, obviously. Switching back up on the speed, the movement is so crisp, so clean. The stun coming through as well onto the Doom. And right now, Maryville is just absolutely showing the Saints how to defend Kings Row.
Yeah, they are just beating them at their own game right now in terms of comp. Dante getting one, Razor getting a nice pick on the Vision here, but they are just unable to break past this first choke. Maryville being very aggressive, taking them all down one by one, stopping any sense of a push every single time.
Right, I mean, it's absolutely insane. It just tells you, like, the level and difference of competition that we've been seeing recently. I mean, don't get me wrong, these other teams that St. Clair have been playing, St. Clair is a very good team. They're not bad by any means, and to be quite honest, they're probably one of the better teams in this league. So, to really see a team like Maryville gather up a bunch of ex-pros like this, it just goes to show you the skill gap that is involved with these leagues and the pro league, just what that experience can do. Tracer using the recall onto the health pack as well. It's going to most likely be it. However, the Saints do have a 1-1 contestation onto the point. It is going to force out an overtime, but as no one is now touching for the Saints, it is going to be all she wrote. They don't even get a singular tick, I believe, on that point. And it is
I think they got one tick.
They got one tick? Okay, well, they get one tick, but regardless of if they did or they didn't, they're not even going to get the capture on the original point in this hybrid mode. It's just going to be such a hard defense to replicate, and it really does show you that games like this mean so much to the St. Clair team, because regardless of how it goes, whether they win or whether they get stomped, you can take a look back at the film, take a look at what these guys on Maryville are doing, and not necessarily copy it, but just get some takeaways from it on how you can improve as a player yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn in this match, of course. Maybe it's just the best comp, maybe it's just the meta, but ooh, Maryville actually going to potentially switch it up.
We did say in our prediction, technically, that we had Maryville take the
You're right, they're going to take the first two, the Saints are going to come back.
So maybe this is just for intrigue. You know, maybe me and Matthias are just the, you know, the fortune tellers. Who knows?
Well, it says here in the script, right?
I mean, I'm reading it right now, and I mean, unless I can't read English, it says that that is what's going to happen.
Exactly,
so,
exactly.
You know, we'll see, we'll see. Maybe
you have to hold out hope.
Yeah, you gotta hold out hope. So, right now, though, what can be for sure talked about, and what has been shown so far, is that Maryland is just absolutely crazy. they just such a good defense. I really want to see how they switch it up on the attack. They are bringing out the Illari as well as the secondary support. Interesting to see not on the Kiriko, but at the same time, Kiriko just, the healing is nice and all, but in a meta right now where the healing doesn't really necessarily matter because of that damage coming through, maybe switching to a hero that can do a lot of damage like Illari as well can kind of help out. And the movement can kind of assist with the Echo. But St. Clair so far starting out on what I was going to say was a good hold. But now as the picks come through, it should be, you have to think Maryville that is going to take it out here. Vision finding the pick onto the Echo as well. They just need to get a little bit over that first tick, and that should be all she wrote. Vision playing into the backline as well, just trying to play delay. Dante's going to find the pick as well. It should just be the support sitting back, getting that capture. It's going to be exactly that. Maryville are going to take a very, very quick map 2.
An amazing map 2 from Maryville. And it seems like after that first point, they've really started taking the Saints seriously and have been playing at the top of their game here. Finding one pick. This is just early into the game. I think it's just hard to keep your mental up when you're up against such tough opponents, you know?
Right. I mean, I couldn't have worded it any better myself. It's just, you know, these guys on the Saints watched these guys who they're playing right now in Pro League.
Yeah.
So it's kind of surreal to be going up against those people who you kind of view not necessarily as like, you know, your idols, but you kind of watch these guys, and it must be such a cool feeling to play up against them. But
yeah, that's where you were aiming to be.
Exactly, that's where you're aiming to be, right? So, I mean, some of these guys were only released from the teams as well because of the whole league, the whole stuff going on with the league. So, technically, if not for that, these guys would still be on these pro rosters, you would think.
Yeah, probably.
So, it is very surreal for these Saints players, but it is also a lesson to be learned for sure. They are definitely in school right now, and they're being taught quite the lecture so far in this matchup.
Well, you know, the best teacher is making those mistakes and taking those L's and failure. But we'll see if our prediction is correct. We'll see if the little reverse sweep starts to take hold after a quick break. Hello and welcome back. Here we are in our game 2 of Midway University versus St. Clair College. It's going to be CCL.
Hey, would you look at that?
Search and destroy.
They won the hardpoint game.
Oh, they did win the hardpoint game.
So they're up a game right now, and Priestley is going to find one onto the board. Twirlings, does he have any idea about the player looming around? No! Just a quick mistime there. Priestley ripping out the Renetti, and he's going to find the kill for his efforts. Manic getting hit on the slide. He thought he had the cross, but it was just simply not to be found. St. Clair with a strong first round on SND.
Good first round, but now they have to stack up. They were on defense that time, if I'm not mistaken. So now they're going to have to try and make the attack. We'll see if they can do it. Let's see. I have a 50% chance of being right here.
50% chance of being right.
Either right or you're wrong, right? And now we're actually going to be also loading in to our next and potentially final Overwatch game, unless the Saints will turn it back here.
Right, so they're already down a flashpoint as well, so not the greatest start from the Saints. But me and Matthias did say that this was where they were going to come back.
No, it was after the second flashpoint.
Yeah, oh, right, after the second flashpoint. Right. Yeah, because we definitely got that detailed. But the Tracer now in the back, Vision has just been on absolute fire. I haven't seen him not use a pulse bomb that hasn't turned into a kill that then wipes it out. So the fact that that did not turn into a near team wipe is the first of the night for him. And I would say that right now, if you are St. Clair, it is whip out the strap books. Anything you guys can do right now, you gotta pull it out, because you're knocking on death's door here, you know, series point, and you're already down a flash point. Not a good place to be in.
Not a good place at all. There is the Kiriko ult, and there is the Doomfist ult being synced alongside that. There's Dante trying to take out the Mei, but the huge icicle on the side of St. Clair. Amarin takes down Dante. That's what I like to see. Picking up a pick that's not exactly the same as at Maryville, and playing to your own strength instead of playing the meta here, as Razor finds another pick here on Kino there. Chubby's gonna have to try and get out here, but the Tracer's chasing him all the way downtown, and he's running away to his team, to the health pack. Just barely gets out. Now there's a duel between the Tracers here. It's gonna be Vision taking the lead and taking the health. But now Amarin just blind firing, trying to find anything. Let's just see Noxious with the pulse bomb, doesn't stick it. And now things are looking a little bit dire for the Saints as the Kiriko ult comes out on the side of Maryville. There's a huge wall from Amarin, and wow, that's a huge icicle. It's shredding them down to nothing. He has the Blizzard at the ready, but will the Saints invest anything here? Right now, it's all going awry as Maryville takes the lead.
96% though, so they do have the freeze onto the beat as well if they need to counter ult, and you know, that freeze will be their most likely their way in. The switch onto the Junker Queen as well, which is kind of more of a, we have seen Junker Queen used a more common pick on Flashpoint, it seems. Most teams really like that she just kind of has that anti-heal that also then feeds into that DPS damage. So it is going to be interesting to see how St. Clair kind of rally here, but so far it is still looking like a very tough hold to break. Dante is low though, and as the wall off does come in from the Mei, it's going to be interesting to see how they make it work. Vision missing the pulse bomb, but does he have the ammo to quickly get the kill onto Tread? It is going to be King that comes through and absolutely starts to annihilate the Saints. I believe he's going to get kill credit on 4 of those kills now as well, even though the final blow may not have been dealt by him. I mean, just absolutely amazing work here from Maryville, as they will take this next flashpoint to make it 2-0. And now on flashpoint, match point, and series point, you just have to kind of sit back and think, St. Clair, you have a mountain on your plate that you need to clean up if you want to get back into this game.
Yeah, it is a do or die situation for St. Clair College, and need to at least cap a 1 point here. This is all gonna go away here. The series is gonna go the way of Maryville. That's where people expect it, but the underdogs have a chance here. They have some good ults on the board here. We're switching to the Cassidy on the side of Amarin. Maybe that's gonna be the counter they need to this Echo here that's been so dang annoying. And the pulse is going to be invested by Juby. They're going to try and win this one decisively, take initial control. There's a counter ult here. Now we're seeing another ult invested from Dante. They're just trying to shut all the Saints. Right now we're seeing a duel come out with the Cassidy. Will he come out on top? No, he will not. He's going into the team, and he gets wiped out.
Right, I mean, beautiful play there from the Doomfist, just singling out the Cassidy, knows that he can call that out for his team. But now as we look onto the COD side of things, 3-0 as well on this Search and Destroy. It is a 1v1, so it'll be interesting to see how that ended up going when we get back to it. But as we stay on Overwatch, wow, I mean, St. Clair, it's just such a tough climb, especially against the caliber of players that you're up against right now. The Junker Queen will open up an alleyway onto the point, but as the health goes down and there's not much healing to be found, it is going to be Tread who really needs to look for his supports right now to help him. Really low. He is going to be kept alive though by the Kiriko. And fair dues to Razor, keeping the tank alive, keeping St. Clair in the game for now. But the Pulse Bomb on Vision, have to imagine it's going to be used on that tank soon when St. Clair starts about to push the recall. Smartly used there by the Tracer.
Finds two.
Tread is going to find
Emeren finds two.
Emeren finds two as well. A beautiful take. Can the Tracer find the pick onto Emeren? It will happen. But St. Clair with a beautiful take, and they should have this flashpoint captured. But oh no! Vision finds the pick solo onto Tread. How did that happen? The Pulse Bomb plus the one clip range inside of that 15 meters. The Tracer doing such a good job to isolate that pick. And you have to think that barring an absolute upset, it will be Maryville to most likely take this point.
Yeah, they are the favorites going into this, and now we see the sound barrier come out from the side of St. Clair, but he gets bursted down anyways. Emeren gonna find one on the high noon. Now Juby's gonna find one. Tread's gonna go back. They're just trading back and forth. Dante gonna take down the support though, and now with no one unable to touch here, it's gonna go over to Maryville. 3-0.
Right, I mean, Maryville doing such a good job. The, sadly, the comeback that we thought was going to happen will not happen. But I will say that, Dan, I was talking to Dan pre-stream. Dan's prediction was right on this. He thought the sweep was going to happen. And I mean, rightly so. I mean, honestly, you could call me and Matthias a little bit crazy, but we just wanted to see a little bit of something.
I believe.
We believed, but in the end, it's not about whether we believe or not. Results are what drives it. And right now, when we talk about impressive results, let's talk about this so far. St. Clair up 5-0 on this S&D game. It's starting to come into play, Matthias. Your prediction on this 3-0 may not be so crazy after that first 3-0.
The Saints are just on fire today. Their aim is on point. They're just in a flow state right now.
Priestley's 10-1.
He's going crazy right now, but now looks like Twirling's gonna find one, turning this into a little bit of a dicey 2v2. Now Priestley almost finds a pick, and that's it. What a synchronous shot there as they win game 2. 6-0, uncontested.
The sweep. Uncontested. Coming. I mean, I'm pretty sure that St. Clair as a team will see the death board. I want to almost call it and say that they may have had less deaths universally as a group. I mean, what is that? What, 5? Oh my gosh. I mean,
23 on their side, on Midway's side. I couldn't count the rest. But either way, it was crazy. They just played amazing, and I think I'm going to be correct with my 3-0 across the board. I think the Saints just have it in them. You start off game 1 almost getting a nuke. You'd expect it to go this way. They are just having the time of their lives today.
Right, I mean, like we just said, riding off of that 3-0 start, St. Clair are looking red hot, and especially Priestley. I mean, oh my God. It's result after result after result of just impressive performances, and he's not going to slow down anytime soon.
No, the train's not slowing down, but we're going to slow down for a little bit. We're going to take it to a quick break, and then we'll be right back with potentially our final game of COD. And we'll see you very, very soon. Hello everybody and welcome back to potentially our final game of the night here. But right now Midway's giving a good showing against St. Clair College as it's going back and forth here. St. Clair up 1 on the kill line right now. and they're just trying to get control here. Attacking is very, very difficult on this control point. There's so many angles that the defenders can attack from, but the Saints are meeting them at every angle.
Right, I mean, when you're talking about a map like High Rise, it just leads to so many long alley, angles, and just, you know, of course, whoever has control of that helipad can just give such great comms to the team as well. If they can stay there for long, two Saints attempt to, and, well, they're going to be cut down for their efforts.
Yeah, a little bit of progress on B is made by Midway. And so taking down Manic, he's trying to get in to a more favorable position right now. And Slayer taking down one. Look at that green in the kill feed. That's almost a squad wipe. And Manic just makes sure it is not. And right now, there's two Saints on both of the points right now. It's going to be tough for Midway. They only have 20 seconds left to make progress on two. Lives are tied, but they're still pretty high up. I doubt we're going to see this game end by kills, because right now there's only 13 seconds.
Nope. 11. Whoever has the more lives remaining will take the round.
Oh.
So right now, St. Clair's in a bad position as they go down by 2. It should be Midway if they can keep this up. Brandon, you need to try to find a pick, but you're facing the wrong way to do it, my friend. He doesn't know about Manic. They don't know about anything right now. The timer is stalled out, but that is a jaw-dropping pick to bring down. It is going to be the 4 picks now that St. Clair have to find back in 9.6 seconds if that clock does run. 3 brought it back. It is going to be the find, but you need to clear out these positions. St. Clair being able to do 1 and 3. It is back to tie game now. And now with 4 seconds left, St. Clair's going to have the lead. Don't give me false hope. Don't tell me we're going to come back from this. It is going to happen. They find the picks needed off of a brilliant triple kill that comes through. The scoreboard lights up all green for St. Clair, and they're going to be able to take that first round.
So if Midway University does win by having the lives finish, is that what you said? If time runs out and they have the life advantage, they win?
Even if you have control of 1 point, if you don't win by points, it immediately goes to lives. So
why didn't he step off when there's 9 seconds they had the kill lead then?
Well, because they were probably trying to rat because they don't want to give up themselves to any angles that they could be vulnerable to. They were only leading by 2, so if you can just rat and build up control time, right? You can assume St. Clair, they need to get dicey and look for kills, but it ended up working out in their favor this time. St. Clair, they're going to be riding off of what was a round robbery, honestly, and as they go up 1-0 right now, surely a good confidence booster.
Yeah, great confidence booster, as look at this. They're just shutting them all down. They almost have B totally in their control. Right now, Manic's trying to get on the point. Ooh, a little bit of a team kill with the nade from the Saints, though. Maybe getting one. Exactly. But hey, it doesn't matter when you're playing this clean. They almost have B control. One goes in. It's going to be Twirlings trying to contest here, and he does do it successfully. Finds 1, finds 2. That's going to be a massive thorn in the Saints side right now. Brandon finds 1. Time is ticking, though. They need to start making progress. They really want to just cap this B side so they can forget about it. And KB playing slow. The Saints are slowing down the gameplay right now. Just trying to psych out Midway.
But now look at this. Now Midway has a little bit of something going on in B as well. It is going to be the players that are just kind of sitting inside. St. Clair can contest, trying to look at those high angles, but do they know about the player on top on the helipad? No, they don't. It's going to be Priestley to take out 1, but he is going to be shot down for his troubles. KB finding 1 on the board as well. The lives are still in favor to St. Clair, and they have also captured point B. So right now it looks pretty good, but with those lives still close, they just have to be careful that with this timer going down to 1:30, things don't get too dire too quick.
Yeah, it's getting down to the wire here. Only 1:30 left. Midway has to play very carefully. They are on the back foot here in terms of lives. Priestley finds 1, but look at that. They get 2 in return. Saints playing a lot slower now that they have the speed. They have the time on their side. KB pushing him very, very far, trying to get them trapped in their spawn. And there it is. Finds 1. Rotate, find another. Almost finds another as he just barely gets out, but he gets a wall bang.
KB's on fire right now. He's streaking on a 6-kill streak. So he's going absolutely crazy. Xerxes should know about the player, but what was that? How do you lose? You can't lose that gunfight, surely. St. Clair coming out with a little bit of a robbery there on that one as well. This has really just kind of been a game of Midway making subtle mistakes that really do come back to cost them. You have to hope with the refrag coming through, though, that they would kind of find their way back. But oh my god, Priestley is just going absolutely insane. He is going to just open up the kills and the lives remaining, the difference for St. Clair entirely. And this should be pretty much, barring an absolute throw of an upset, all she wrote. The respawn's no longer in pocket, so now it is down to these last 3 Midway players to find 11 kills straight on these Saints. Now just bringing it down to 9. The double kill does come through, but now they have to find 9 with 2 players remaining. These last 2 players most likely going to be one right now, as they can't even refrag each other. The pick onto blue does come through, and that is going to be all she wrote. St. Clair with that second round as well. They find themselves on match point and series point.
And it's looking like this is probably going to be series point. Whenever I see these maps, it always tends to kind of lean a little bit more favorably in the defense position, I find, because there's just so many angles to cover. There's only so many angles to cover here. Of course, there's a lot of tricky moves you can do on attack, and if you're successful with them, it can really swing in your direction. But if you're just going down the main points of attack, there's only 1, 2, 3 points of attack on this map. It's not looking great if you're on attack and your back's up against the wall.
If you're Midway right now, you're just kind of having a little bit of a low. It's a great hot start for them so far, though. They need to try to find a big impact round to get themselves back into it. Even if it just means they take this one round, St. Clair will still be on match point, but it will be a momentum starter.
Wow.
And right now, this kill board is looking all blue. Midway looking like a completely different team to start out this 3rd round.
Hey, their back's up against the wall, and the Fangs come out here. They're playing very, very well. Until he gets a double kill, though. Mana gonna shut that one down. Priest is gonna get one in return. Now we're just down to 1 control point. There's down the Saints' vision, but of course, they still have to try and outlast this for 2 whole minutes here. With the trades coming out, they need to be a little bit more careful and choosy with their lives. Finding 1 with a headshot. Look for another here. Twirling gonna get 1 more. Wow, Twirling gonna get double.
Wow.
Gonna get 1 more. Zuri gonna get another, and Midway is just dominating the kills right now.
Right, I mean, you look at that board right now, lives remaining 25 to 17. St. Clair has to try to find some way to get back into this round. Brandon's going to elect to do just that right now as he finds the jump shot onto the player, but the reveal is going to come through, and it is going to be Priestley to refrag. However, refrags are not going to be what gets you back in this game. St. Clair has to streak right now if they want to get their lives back, as Midway also have captured that A point.
Yeah, they are losing by 7 whole kills, so the Saints need to play a little bit more tighter here. They're all playing as a team, trying to cover each other's angles. The hail of gunfire almost takes out one of the Midway players, and KB and Ensley get 2, but Twirlings is gonna find KB through all the chaos. Reddy comes out in clutch, and Twirlings gonna find another. Brandon gonna find one with the pistol, and the explosion gets a team kill on the side of Midway. 5 more kills is the difference right now. Midway doesn't want to lose this lead. Brandon finds 1. They're not making any progress over on B. Of course, they have 1 tick.
The Saints are set up really well right now. They can come back. They're trying to find it. The crossfires, they had the setup. It immediately gets them 3 free kills unfragged. And are they going to come back yet again? I was going to say, Midway have to at some point reestablish this kill board lead. Surely they can't let it come through, but the 2 picks are going to come out now, and this next pick could tie the game up. It's going to do just that. KB with the tie again. St. Clair just will not go down. They have 8 left apiece for both sides, but it is going to be Midway with that opening engagement. The next 3 as well. Midway absolutely take this game into their hands, and they get the lives back that they needed.
With the Saints, only 4 lives remaining. They have to play very carefully here. They find 1. There's a trade, though. That's going to be devastating. It's 3v2. 3v2v3. Ensley finds 1. It's going to be
2v4.
2v4 situation.
On the one player, they're definitely going to swing him out here. But the pick does come in. The refrag, maybe. Don't give me false hope. The 1v2 now. KB, max health, 15 seconds to burn, but he can't let them take this B control. He needs to find the engagement, and is KB even going to elect to try to challenge it? He won't be able to get there in time. It is going to be Midway with the capture, but you cannot sit here and say that St. Clair did not make it a nail-biter in the end.
No, I'm very shocked with the quality gameplay from Midway here. They played it very, very clean all the way throughout, and the Saints really had to lock in there near the end and give it all they had. We have a very interesting game on our hands here, folks, and Midway now needs to play the defense as well as they played that offense, because they started off with, I think, a whole team wipe within the first 10 seconds. It's up to the Saints to try and make this mad dash on the attack.
Right, and as these players all just kind of sift through the B site, they need to try to find something, but the TK comes through. And the 3K as well, a beautiful start for the Saints, being up 4 lives. And they're already looking to capture Zone B. You have to think if they can clear out Manic from this power position, which won't happen. I was going to say they might have been eyeing down the sights of a triple kind of spawn hold there that they could have kind of tapped into. But it is going to be the players that do come out from the spawn in Midway.
Wow.
But the kills do come through on the side of St. Clair. They're up now, 5 picks. Twirlings, so much is riding on him. 27 and 19. He has been the standout player for Midway here, and as his team rallies behind him, it seems like whenever Midway gets 1 pick, they just rally and they get 3, 4, hell, even 5 in a row to kind of bring this game back. It's such a big momentum shifter for Midway every time they find the pick. But St. Clair, it's the same exact story. Both teams here, whenever they find a pick, it's almost immediately the 2-kill swing that comes through. So knowing this, it has to be very tough for these teams that are attacking, because when that first pick comes in from the defense, surely the second and the third come through as well.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. And neither of these teams can quite get comfortable, as it's so close. It's just a difference of 1 or 2 kills here. Right now we see Priestley on the prowl, finds 1, looking for another, can't quite find it. Right now he's just trying to make sure he gets to a safe position, but Ensley finds another. Just right back to that B site. It's a little bit safe here. Brandon gonna throw down the trophy system, try and secure this A site for his team.
Brandon just walked by a guy in blue.
Uh-oh.
He just walked by Xerxes in blue. He should find the pick here, and that's going to be exactly what happens. It is going to be unfortunate there, but again, the player was just kind of caught in the peripheral. Grim with a beautiful position here. Surely he's going to find a pick for his troubles. He will. He finds 1 on the KB, but 2 coming out previously for St. Clair right before then is going to have the kill difference at 3 still. Things are looking dire. St. Clair has B control, and you have to think that with that A site in a little bit of pressure, they can kind of sit and farm these picks. But now the comeback as well happens from Midway. They are only down by 1 pick here. Stuff is getting critical. It is 9-9 now, and with 25 seconds left, you have to think these next kills are going to swing the momentum of the game. 20 seconds in as we drop down. 8-8 apiece. KB, you have to see the player there. He's not going to find him, but the refrag does come through. But like I said, the second kill comes through from Grim again. The wall bang. It is going to be Midway with the life advantage. Can they find the next pick, St. Clair, to tie it up? It is not going to happen. There needs to be a swing of 2, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen with 2 seconds left. St. Clair find the picks that they need. 4-4. They're going to find the next pick on the Xerxes. No way are they going to come back here. They're on A now. They're building progress. They need to find the next 2 picks. Twirlings has got the fight, though. He's going to pick up 1, 2. Can he find the third? No, shut down by Brandon. And now the 1v2 dancing around the site. It's going to be St. Clair to find the pick. Are you kidding me? You thought it was all over, but the Saints bring it back. They bring it back. I cannot believe they just did that. They're going to be able to take this control 3-1, and they take the series 3-0 as well.
Wow. What an interesting and explosive end to the game, though. These teams really gave it their all near the end. You could definitely tell it was down the wire. The nerves were running high, and our nerves were running high as well. Just watching that, I cannot believe how close that one got. But the Saints, God team, were just on fire today. Just clean swept through this entire series, both series as well. But wow, Midway really gave us a good show there at the end.
I mean to say that they had no business winning that round whatsoever. They had the control, sure, but at the end of the day, that wasn't what was going to inevitably cause anything to go their way. I mean, there were 2 seconds left on the board. The time is running out. We're down by 2, and the Saints, like, simultaneously, like, happened in complete succession, one after the other. They find the 2 picks, they bring it back, they have the momentum, they get the positioning on the point, and then that's just all she wrote. That is absolutely incredible. I could not have thought of a better way to finish out this Call of Duty series.
Even just to finish out the night entirely as well. You know, starting it off, we have the near 30 bomb to start things off with our first COD game, and that was just kind of a clean sweep all the way through. A great day for the Saints, not a great day for Wisconsin, but wasn't a great day for the Saints all around as we switch over to the Overwatch team. They had to go up against the ex-pros and potential future pros once the league gets back into play. They just played amazingly, beat them at their own game, but they did have a really good start.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, St. Clair, they really did drive my expectations into the ground for that first point.
Yeah.
But it seems like Maryville, like right after, they were like, okay, no. We know what you guys do now. We kind of get your bread and butter. We're going to just match that and beat you at your own game. So the adaptability by Maryville was just simply sublime. And the fact that they just then took it and ran with it all the way, the Saints did not have an answer for it.
Yeah, the Saints just couldn't really keep up. They tried some switches near the end of that flash one. I think they did pay off. They did a little bit better.
A little bit.
They were just unable to get a single flashpoint, unfortunately. But that's just how it is. You know, there's more reason to train. There's a lot to learn there. And overall, it was a very good match to watch. And the last match was a great match to watch as well. As you could tell by our reactions, we were screaming. And if you want to see that stream, you can do !streams. Check the old VOD. You can focus really in on that last one. With that said, it's been a great night. Thanks for joining me here on the desk, Patrick. It's always great casting you. Thank you, everybody in the back. I believe it was TJ, Aiden observing those 2 games. And then we also had Amanda in the back and Tommy holding things down as director and graphics. All right, now we also have Mr. Dander there making sure everything's organized. He's the producer of this whole thing, making sure everything works. And don't forget to follow our socials as well. You can stay up to date on everything St. Clair related, events, tournaments, streams, anything you could want. You're going to want to follow us there.
Before we end,
yes,
I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Oh, yes, of course.
We want to give a quick thank you to HyperX, Subway, Tim Hortons, the SRC, and the SCC alumni as well. So thank you guys for supporting us, and thank you all at home who are watching, you know, friends, family, the players. Thank you to the players for showing up, playing. You give us the content we need to make this work. Again, let me give my little shout out to the back room. Without you guys, none of this is possible. So that's going to be all from me here as well.
Yes, and don't forget, tomorrow at 8:30 p.m., we have NACE Valorant. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back here tomorrow. With all that said, everybody, thank you very much for joining us, and good night. We'll see you again tomorrow.